Got an analog clock in your room?
No.
Someone just put a good comment on the paperclip video and said they'd straighten it out and then...
Ram it down their bell end.
Yeah, genuinely a lot of people did say that. Up their arse, definitely the most common answer. They said they'd then just super glue it to the back of the minute hand there on an analog clock.
Great shout. My favourite one was at the bottom of the door.
Yeah, that was
Tape
good.
it to the bottom of the door. That was one of my favourite ones.
There was some really good stuff.
There was some really good stuff.
I was replying to them all and then there was 1,000.
Yeah, probably not.
Like it.
I like it, Joe. Till 4 o'clock in the morning responding to comments.
Someone commented today, like if I see a funny one, I sometimes go back to it and they commented and they were like, I swear every podcast I've watched asked this question. I just went back and I was like, yeah, because it slaps views. And he just like, fair enough.
Reytons team. Welcome back to the Scratch Record podcast. Me and Joe are back in the studio. It's been a while since we've been sat here.
Not that long. Music quiz.
Oh yeah.
3.5 weeks. I guess. 4 weeks. Man, it's quite a long time.
It's quite a while.
It's quite a long time.
It's quite a while.
Because we sit over there quite a lot.
We do sit over there quite a bit in front of the computer.
A lot of zoomies at the moment.
A lot of zoomies. I really, really want to get out of the zoomies.
Yeah, they're good, but they're bad.
Drop the bass.
They're good. They are really good, and they open
Yeah.
a lot of doors. But they're more difficult to do, like to kind of get the cohesion with the person, and then all of like our content artist just doesn't do as well either.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing that I find quite frustrating about them is that like the actual interview and the person that we can get in the rooms with, like the virtual rooms with, are always a little bit more impressive because it's so easy to organise.
Mm-hmm.
But actually getting in person you could almost be interviewing anybody and the views are going to do better than if you do like fucking wombats over Zoom or kooks over Zoom.
Our most viral videos now when we had Trippy
in here. Yeah.
And that's a question about paperclips.
I don't think we can on TikTok.
On TikTok.
Yeah, on TikTok.
It's not that far off. Well, I mean, it's 300,000 off, but it's not.
Yeah. Has that grown recently?
It's nearly on 500k. It keeps doing a lot, yeah. It's on like 499.
I love TikTok. I think TikTok it's been quite interesting watching everyone integrate that sort of style. Have you seen they've now put in the TikTok Now?
No.
That might just be America. I've changed all my shit to on VPNs. So everything that I use now, I've turned all my location services off on my phone. I've turned everything off, so it just does it off my IP, and my IP's in LA. And they've started doing TikTok Now, which is Be Real.
Oh, really?
It's TikTok's version of Be Real. And it is exactly the same.
You just take a picture of yourself when it goes off?
Yeah.
It's mad that they caught on before Instagram. I really thought Instagram would have done it by now.
I really thought Instagram would have done it by now. I think it's because they were talking about buying it, weren't they? There's talks of them trying to like...
hey, we can all talk the talk, mate, but...
Yeah, until you put money in front of the...
Get your little purse out, do it.
Exactly. Till you purchase, like Elon Musk on Twitter.
Yeah, interesting that.
I'm glad that's gone through now. He's now put... yes and no. I think there's a couple of things that I like his... I think he is going to be a better CEO, a better owner, because I don't think he's actually going to be CEO. I think he's going to be a better owner.
He's made himself sole director today.
Sole director?
Fired everyone else.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
I think he'll completely fuck it and then leave and think it was hilarious. Which, all credit to him, I think it's brilliant. I respect it a lot, but I think it's a big fun. It's a game. He's going to charge people to
verify tabs.
Have a blue tick.
Yeah, $20 a month, isn't it?
He's dropped it to 8 now because Stephen King kicked off.
Oh, really?
Stephen King tweeted which is such a rogue crossover.
Yeah.
And then he was like, $20 a month to have a blue tick. Like, no, thank you. No point. I'm never going to do that. And Elon Musk replied, got to pay the bills somehow. What about $8 a month? ? And then Elon Musk. Elon Musk
Tom's brother.
Good. Just tweeted again it might be $8 a month. He's not thinking things through. He's just coming up with ideas and being like, we might do this, and people are like, don't do that. And he's like, okay, what about this?
Have you had the Twitter Blue update?
No.
Twitter Blue is it's literally they're literally putting a news piece in, like a news section.
Okay.
It's verified news,
Hmm.
which would be quite interesting. I don't know how they're going to do it because obviously no news is fully objective. So I don't know how you do it without having any form of unless it's just from a verified news source. But yeah, they're doing like a headlines and
It's just a trending bit, isn't it? Really?
it's essentially trending, but it will be trending on factual topics, I assume. Which I think is quite interesting. I think there's going to be little things that he does that are more consumer based. I think that'll be really good. I think that he'll do well for the more consumer audience than the CEOs of Twitter were doing, in a sense of freedom of speech and all that stuff. But also, did you see what was trending the day he took it over?
No.
The N-word.
Brilliant.
So
Yes, that's gone well, isn't it?
Gone incredibly.
I mean, there was no real... If anything, Twitter needed more censorship, not less.
Yeah, Twitter is... I'll tell you, the thing that I have disliked the most about Twitter, actually, this is very, very not on topic at all.
You probably can cut this and put this in something else.
100%. The thing that I find so frustrating with Twitter, for fears, with Twitter is the fact that there is no censorship at all on pretty much anything. So, like, 1 minute I can have, like, some big titty goth girl up that comes up onto my feed.
Oh, does it? After you search the words, big titty golf girl.
No, my feed is horrific now because I think I liked one post that was like gaming and anime, and they all just literally put in it gaming and anime, so it goes trending under the topic of gaming and anime. Anyway,
what a disaster!
What a disaster! Really, really bad. I'm gutted.
Yeah, visibly upset by it. I can see. Yeah.
But then the next thing is like Takeoff. Obviously, got shot this morning from Migos. And literally the video of people like picking up his body and like the picture of him like laying dead in the streets. And I'm like, I don't want to see that because shit like that really does like not affects me, but like it does affect me. It ruins my day.
Normally,
like,
watching people get shot dead is not.
Yeah, so I like see it and I'm like, oh my god, that's what that is. And I'm like scrolling past it dead quick, but I shouldn't have to do that on an app. Like I shouldn't have to be like having to. And I don't want to put safe searches on because I quite like the big titty goth girls. So I don't want to see someone who I grew up listening to dead on the streets like that party next door. Same thing. Like I don't want that, but also I do want big titty goth girls. So it's like, you know, I don't watch horror films for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see all that shit on my timeline. So
Plus,
I guess it's like, do you mute words like murder and stuff like that? But then you just don't even get.
No one puts up the caption
that.
murder.
No, exactly.
Like, it just gets put up. And I think the issue with, to be honest, most social medias now is that they're all switching so much more like algorithmic and showing you what it thinks it wants you to look at instead of what you follow.
Yeah.
If it just showed you what people, like it used to be, you follow people, when they tweet, you see it. That should be how it's on Instagram. I just want to see posts from people that I follow, not all this shit you think I'm going to like. And I get, obviously, why they do it, but that's when you get stuff like that because it goes viral. So then they put it in front of you, but you're like, I haven't followed some of that stuff for a reason.
I didn't see it on my feed, but I checked the trending tab for my news, and that's how I find out things have happened, and especially when Jake put it in the group chat earlier, and I was like, this is just, I need to, I want to have a look and see whether it's real. Has any of them died? Like, because he said Migos got shot, and I was like, oh my god, all of them?
Yeah, one.
It's like, fuck.
One bullet all the way through.
And I was like, oh, is it collateral?
Oh, good. Right on the line.
Right on the line. Treading it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I wanted to know what the fucking crack was. So I saw it, Migos shot, trending. I was like, fine, click on it. First photo is like an actual news source using the footage of him laying dead on the floor.
Jeez.
I'm like, my God, I just want to... Is he dead?
Mm.
And then you scroll down and it's like shot over a dice game, killed over a dice game, and like people are like, oh, I'm not believing it until TMZ do it. Yeah, killed in Battlefield. Yeah, like you just think like, yeah, I don't want to see that shit.
No.
But I've trained my actual feet because it's almost like I've not figured out, it's just the way you do it, but I've literally got like certain accounts for certain reasons, and I've trained the algorithm in all of these accounts to be certain topics. So like each of my TikTok individually are trained to do certain things, and like, you know, so my Twitter's trained to literally pretty much be big titty goth girls, COD, and like just shit like memes.
That shouldn't be like something you have to train.
I shouldn't have to train it.
Follow the stuff you want to see, and then
exactly.
I don't.
Exactly.
It's really not difficult. I don't really understand, but I think Twitter's an absolute fucking cesspit, to be honest. And it's
yeah.
I almost think we can just keep going with this and use it as an episode now. So like halfway through it.
Yeah, great.
So either we'll cut that out, or welcome to the Planet Scatreckle podcast. But while we're on the topic of Twitter,
yeah.
all kicked off a little bit in the indie scene.
It did kick off on the indie scene. Actually, there was a big news topic of the Skinner brothers. Well, the Skinner brother Mike, is it?
No idea.
The one with the long. No, Mike Skinner's not him.
He's not Mike Skinner. No.
The Skinner brothers were posting about Louis Tomlinson and how supporting him is essentially a mockery to.
I think
being
let's do it. I'll read the tweet.
Read the tweet.
Let's do it properly,
and then I'll happily say my 2p.
Yeah, me too, actually, because
I think I think it's fucking stupid. I've never seen something so stupid. And I think if he's playing the game, then I can respect it in some regards.
It's part of the reason why I did we kind of weighed up talking about it, because I don't really just want to keep plugging something that's kind of giving them a lot of press for something that is kind of like just a stupid fucking opinion and realistically probably is like part of the game. And I get that, but also let's talk about it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's quite some time ago now.
We quoted it.
Might delete it.
Fucking hope so. Daft cunt.
I don't know. I really want to read it. Oh no, he hasn't. I see all these bands going on tour with Louis Tomlinson from One Direction. Fucking laughable. I wouldn't ever do
Hang on,
that.
Do that again. Start again. Sorry, I wasn't listening.
I see all these bands going on tour with Louis Tomlinson from One Direction. Fucking laughable. I wouldn't ever do that on the account of it being incredibly lame.
So, because it's lame. Which let's use
the word lame is lame.
Let's delve into the term lame, right? So lame is a early 2000s term for something pretty like bang average, like worse than average, just pretty boring, right?
Mm.
Now, this is a fully grown man.
Yeah.
A fully grown man giving his 2 cents on these up and coming bands touring with an artist that is internationally known. And this internationally known artist has a fan base as stronger, arguably the beginning of stans on Twitter and social media. They are arguably the beginning of that culture completely. So for someone to claim that he wouldn't do that because it's lame is completely, I guess, refuting the whole idea of wanting to get the most exposure as possible. So I find it quite frustrating as someone who's a fan of all this music that he doesn't want. Like, I'm a fan of the Skinner Brothers music, but I think it's just plain fucking stupidity that he doesn't want it put in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
I think it just comes across really like bitter.
Yeah.
A bit like, because it's not me, I'm going to kind of slay it. And I think the one thing that I really had an issue with was the fact that he said, I see all these bands going on tour, Louis Tomlinson from One Direction, fucking laughable. He's calling out the bands. I think if he tweeted like the second bit, I wouldn't ever go on tour with Louis Tomlinson because I think he's lame. That's no problem at all. You can decide that you don't want to do it because you think he's lame and it doesn't suit your image. That is not an issue. It's the almost criticising other bands for doing it. So we've always said that. Like, there's loads of stuff that we wouldn't talk about or wouldn't do. If you want to do it, fucking do it. Like, it always goes both ways. And bands that are touring with him will happily go, yeah, no worries, mate. Like, if he asks you to say no, we'll fucking pick up. Like, no problem.
Gotcha.
There's no issue with saying, I think it's lame. Personally, I wouldn't do it. That's fine. It's I see all these other bands that's fucking laugh what they're doing it, being like, I'm better than you because you're saying yes to stuff. That's the bit that I just think, like, why, for some of these bands, that is like the most incredible thing that would happen. And some of the people that have been on tour with him are now some of the biggest people in the scene, people that you definitely have bought the albums of and support because they're the sort of music that you like and influence your music now. People like the Snuts that are arguably like the biggest indie band in the country right now from like their trajectory, had support from Louis Tomlinson when they needed it. Like that's so they're just you just not listen to their music. You think they're lame. You think they're pathetic. You think they're whatever.
Laughable.
You think they are. Like that's fucking laughable, is it? Well, they're a hell of a lot further than you.
I think and I think that is something that is my point, and I think it's very fucking. I think it feels very immature. It feels very blinded by this. I don't know whether it's a self-perception or whether it's an image perception of what he's got to portray. And again, I want to make sure that if it is purely on the game of just trying to get some fucking nibbles,
fuck me, has he done that?
Fuck me, has it worked?
Fuck me, has he done that?
Fair play.
And when he's tweeted I've had Twitter on the strings and stuff, like fair play. He has.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Like he has. That's fair enough. It's just. And from what's come of it is a lot of like smaller bands, like obviously Louis Tomlinson replied and went back to him. I'm never gonna find it. And basically like said, you've made yourself look like a bitter little fucking knobhead, which I think is fair. And then went back and said, oh yeah, and do you ever take that hat off, or is it like glued together? Which I think's fucking brilliant. Like he's got stuck in back, and then that's fair enough. But also then all of Louis Tomlinson's fans have been like
fucking rinsing him.
And then I don't know if it was him or one of his fans or someone like tweeted that playlist full of all the like people that supported him and people like the music he's supporting. And now all those bands are getting have gained like 500 followers, 1,000 followers. Like all their streams are going up. So in turn, what he's actually done is promoted all these bands that are fucking laughable even more. So which I think is fucking brilliant.
I think I do think as just as an actual like topic on Twitter, I think it has been quite interesting to see where people lie, and I think there's been I don't think I've seen one person agree with him. I didn't see one person agree with him, and I think that in of itself kind of either shows he's playing the game really well, or it shows that he's just being a bit of a fucking twat.
Yeah.
And I just can't wrap my head around it at all. Like why you'd want to even completely disregard something along them lines happening to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, even if, Louis Tomlinson, you look at fucking Harry Styles, he's doing what's he doing? Like 13 days at the Forum at the minute, and he's just done like 17 at Madison Square Garden.
Also, like, those One Direction lads, like, it's a bit cringy from when they were first making, like, music, but number one, they have made some of the best songs of all time.
Agreed.
Bangers. And number two, they had the coolest fucking... Harry Styles is one of the coolest blokes on the planet right now.
Fact.
He's the furthest thing from lame you can get. Louis Tomlinson maybe a little bit more lame, but
I quite like
cool
No. The one that's made me laugh the most recently has been what's the Niall's sound, Liam's sound, Harry's sound. Zayn. Well, Zayn's the one that apparently slapped up Gigi's mum or something like that.
Shouldn't do that.
Allegedly.
That's lame.
That is lame. But I don't know what the actual, where that went, but that was all a rumour a while ago. And then the other one. Who's the other one?
Liam, Niall, Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson, Zayn. That's it, isn't it? 5.
Oh, Liam. Louis, Liam. Sorry, Louis is fine. Liam went on impulsive.
Yeah,
made a mug of himself.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Just acting very silly. But kind of funny. But
kind of funny. I was listening to it and I didn't really think much of it until then. I saw people clipping it down after, and I thought, actually, you do sound like a bit of a tit.
Yeah, but they're all cool blokes, really. When it comes down to it, people can say they're from One Direction, whatever, but let's all be honest for a minute. They're fucking cool.
Do you think people are going to say that about BTS in a few years' time?
Yeah.
Most likely.
Probably, but
again, they've had the world on fucking strings.
Yeah.
They've had the world on strings. They've had the youth culture on strings. They've had the charts on strings. They have made some of the best dressed people in the fucking world. They have some of the most money in the music industry. They are selling out arenas and in making incredible music. It makes no sense at all. I find it completely, utterly fucking stupid.
And I think it's all kind of worked out in the end, but like Louis Tomlinson, if he's a different person, might turn around, read that and be like, okay, if that's how people see it in the scene, I'll stop doing it. And I'll just do what everyone else does and book massive supports for my tours, let all the booking agents deal with it, and I'll just listen to who I want to in my own time, and do it like that. Like he could have done that, and like he won't. But I just think, don't people like him build this scene up, and bands that have 200 monthly listeners that go to having 2,000 monthly listeners. That's the catalyst that a band like that might need to have 20,000 in 6 months' time and grow from there. And like that, it's quite small, but that sort of backing really can push people on. And I think if he, as someone that famous, is willing to give it, then shut the fuck up and let him do it, and don't be jealous that he's never done it to your music.
I just think for me, it's also very much a thing of being like, why does anyone give a shit what anyone else is doing?
Yeah.
Like, why does he have to come and start fucking trying to name and shame people and kind of call people out and stuff like that? Like, if they're making good money and they're doing good stuff, they're doing cool stuff, they're enjoying themselves, why does anyone give a fucking toss? Why does he give a toss? Like, why is he out here being like, fucking laughable? What do you mean? What's ruined your day for you to say that?
Yeah.
Like, what other? It's literally, you know, these fucking like keyboard warriors that are in YouTube comments being like, kill yourself. You just think, what a fucking melt.
Yeah.
You just like, what is he? What are you playing at? Like, there's no reason for you to be giving your 2 cents on that. There's no reason at all. Like, just let the fucking people that are doing it, that want to do it, live and enjoy themselves and enjoy that moment without it being tarnished by some. I'm not really.
No, but I kind of like we had like interaction with them at Live at Leeds, and like kind of
Wasn't
from
perfect.
that, like wasn't great, and like people can't make interviews and stuff. Like it happens, but they didn't turn up to the interview and things like that. And I just think like
just liked messages and stuff.
Interactions like that just make you very quickly find out. Like we interview a lot of people that are really busy, that are a lot more famous than them, that can either turn up to interview or message say, I'm really sorry I can't. And it's little things like that where you just start to get a name for yourself. It's quite a tight industry.
Very tight.
Everyone talks to each other, and very quickly, like, you make your name for yourself that's that negative. Like, we're promoters, like we wouldn't put them on.
God no.
Like, so that, even that, I know it's a small thing, we're very small promoters, like whatever, but like if you have little ripples like that all through the industry and all through the community, like it can have a lot of negative impacts on yourself. And maybe that's what he wants. Maybe he thinks that's all part of the fun, because being that kind of like, I don't know, slightly indie geezer that everyone hates and you're fine against it and whatever, but you're just bringing it on yourself. It's not. And
that is it. Like, you know, we are in conversations with a lot of people. If someone asked us, someone was like, oh, I'm putting a gig on, I'm thinking about having them support.
Yeah.
We'd go.
No, I wouldn't.
I probably wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
And that happens with that. That's you know,
happen,
probably got
happened.
a bit of a has happened. We've probably got a bit of a blacklist about bands that we wouldn't put on, or would advise people not to put on already. And you sit and you think like, the industry's too tight for you to start doing that. And I just think like, just let everyone fucking live, man.
Yeah,
let
like
everyone
there's
live.
little things you can put controversial opinions out to try and like fucking generate some clicks. Like we're all for that, but don't target people. As I said, tweet. I would never support Louis Tomlinson. I think he's lame. That is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
It's all these other bands doing it is fucking laughable bit that I just think leave other people out of it, because it comes across jealous, and people, it is a tight community, like people need to build each other up. Yeah. I think whenever a band, even if you don't really listen to them, but they're a small indie band and they're supporting Louis Tomlinson, I'm like, it's fucking brilliant.
It's cool.
Good on you. Go do it. Fucking do well, gain some followers and gain some listeners from it, and it all helps. Doesn't it?
Yeah, just have the experience. Like playing these arenas with Louis Tomlinson it's gonna be fucking cool.
Yeah,
cool to sit backstage and just vibe
and just know him and like know the people that he knows, and speak to his booking agent and go, well, hold on, he actually puts tours on for everyone else also, and go, well, we'll do sports anywhere and everywhere, and then you're doing something else, and then all just spiral. That's all it takes are these bands that make it, and we speak to so many of them that do, and you go you get the story of how it happened, and now we're playing in small gigs and something like that happened, and we were playing in much bigger venues, and that's just how it goes how it spirals, and that's all any of us are trying to do in the scene. So I just think like, yeah, it didn't make himself look very good.
No, it didn't sit very well at all.
No.
Wasn't a fan.
Interesting though. I'm glad we got to speak on it.
Yeah, very, very much so.
No, I'm trying to look at that as well. 33, I think, but
Okay, cool.
it was running for a while before.
Yeah.
Arctic Monkeys' new album.
Arctic Monkeys' new album. Interesting.
It's growing on me slowly but surely.
I'm underwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
I was a very big fan of Tranquility Base.
Yeah.
But this one feels not as testing, not as an artistic piece. I've only listened to it through a couple of times, so it's very much first impressions. But as an artistic piece, I don't think it's quite all there. It feels broken. Like it feels like there's distinct changes between songs and stuff instead of it being a fluid piece like Tranquility was. There was an incredible piece of art. This one feels like an album of singles and EPs that are dotted in there that doesn't necessarily have a string of like a thought process, like a string of consciousness of itself. God, that was a wanky way to say it.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? It feels a bit like it doesn't feel like it's one piece.
Yeah, not as much as Tranquility Base.
No.
I think especially because it's not really like themed as like Tranquility Base was a theme concept album. Like it's surrounded around this concept and it all is tied in that sense. And I think the slight issue it has is that maybe it then doesn't quite itch that scratch, but it's not itching the scratch of like old school indie rock Arctic Monkeys album. Obviously
also,
not. It's closer towards Tranquility Base than it is that, but it's not quite that. So it's kind of like
it's Suck It and See.
Yeah,
their album. I think it's very similar to that album, but in the lounge genre they're in at the minute. So that album felt very eclectic, but now they're in this lounge genre that they're trying to do with not much drums and a bit more synthy and a little bit more vibey. I think it feels like an eclectic mix of potential singles, an eclectic mix of potentially B-sides.
I think that is harsh.
And stuff.
Do you think? That is harsh. Yeah,
I think it's not listened to it
that.
enough, but I think it feels a little bit like that upon first impression.
Yeah, I think it does tail off a little bit. Like it does start to feel a bit like that towards the end and that. But I do think it feels like more of a cohesive piece than that. But it's not quite as tied in together as Tranquility Base. So, but then the songs don't quite sit on their own. I'm just struggling more with it. Like, I really like it. I think it is genius. I think it's great. But it's doing the same thing in Tranquility Base. Like the songs individually aren't really going to make it into playlists.
Yeah.
I didn't love it to the point where I'm like, I'm going to listen to the album through, and when I finish it, I'm going to start it again. Like, I didn't feel that love for it either, so it's kind of going to have that
middle ground.
That's really good. I think it's genius. I really like it, and it's shelved forever. Whereas like Tranquility Base, every like 6 months comes out again, and I'll listen through it again and be like, fucking hell, like it is genius. It's this bit, and you notice bits, and you think that's great. And obviously, other Arctic Monkeys songs and albums. In constant playlists and played everywhere, and this one I don't think it kind of is in either of those bits, so it kind of feels like it's going to get forgotten in that sense. But I don't know, like I have been going back to it, and I think Mirror Ball and Body Paint are two songs that I have been listening
Body
to.
Paint
like
is good.
Body Paint's
I do quite like
song.
that. Body Paint and Mirror Ball, they are both very good tracks.
Really good tracks, and I think like maybe once they grow they will, but it's just I don't know. I think it's almost because I'm not sure I like him as much anymore. And when he was speaking to Zane Lowe, I just thought like the two of them were just like, Zane Lowe was analysing something that he'd not even thought about. And then he was like, did you see that bit where he's like, he's like talking to him about calling it the car. And he's like, he was being like, God, like, I've not seen anyone else get it. Like when I saw the car, I just thought, it's perfect. It just dragged me into those memories of like being in a car as a child and the music you hear and the scenery you see. You know, and you're like, you just call it the car, mate. And he's literally looking at him like, sure. Like he doesn't really know what to say because it's almost like you've analysed it more than he ever has.
Yeah.
He's just called it the car. I was like, because that's what I wanted to call it. And he's kind of got that slightly almost like husky, arrogant vibe about him that it's just a bit like, nah, we just sort of did it because we did it. And I think if he came out and said, this is the concept, this is what it's all about, this is why I'm really passionate about it, that to me adds quite a lot, and I start to share that and be like, oh, sick, okay, that's where it comes from. Whereas that persona where he's a little bit like, okay, if you want, like, but...
And that's what made me... That's not what made me feel like it, but that is what I'm trying to say that I thought of the album. That it feels a little bit... Is lackluster the term?
Yeah, I get it. It's like, it's just harsh terms because it is fucking brilliant, but it's just... Yeah, I don't know where it sits.
Yeah, in the world of... In the world of it. Law.
Yeah, kind of. And I don't think he does either. And I think that's where the kind of disconnect comes a little bit, where you do finish it and you're a bit like, okay, yeah, I get it, but do I get it? Like, what was the point of this? What was the muse for this? What was the... And I know that is maybe a wanky thing, like maybe just listen to it and it's kind of a point, like make your own mind up. But I think that's why. Tranquility Base, you just felt like he's really...
There's a real cohesive...
It's a big passion project.
Real cohesive piece.
Another, the rest of the music, like you don't need to like listen to it and think, fuck me, this is just the catchiest and loudest and the best thing that there is. Whereas now I'm a bit like, you do need that. If you did come out and just spoke really passionately about it and like explained it all, and I think it would grow me more.
Do you think that's been due to his, because he still lives in LA, doesn't he? Do you think that's due? Do you think that is a part and parcel of moving out and away from maybe the grittiness of England?
Yeah,
being
maybe.
Surrounded by wealth and, I guess, self-care and relaxation and a bit more of a lack of... Because obviously there is a lot of people in LA that are very, very passionate about what they do, but there is also a lot of people that just have a lot of money and they're in a very good position and just kind of vibing along with life now. I think there's potentially an argument there for that.
Yeah, I think he's always been like it, but I just think it matters more now. Yeah. I think if you put AM out, you don't need to say anything. You can sit there and go, yeah, it's a rock album, man, and you should listen to it. And then you listen to it and you go, yeah, fucking hell, he's right, and like, that's brilliant. Whereas I think now you want a bit more from it. You want a bit more like substance coming from him, because the music's not necessarily ticking that box maybe as much
as it used to.
And Tranquility Base was so unique as well because it came out of nowhere and there was a bit of like, it was so new and so like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, they literally have done nothing like this. This is mental. Whereas now it was more expected, I think. There wasn't that shock value, so you are a bit more like, yeah, it is what I expected and it is really good, but it hasn't, nothing in it maybe, like I listened to it and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Like, nothing really tickled me.
Nothing really was like, fuck, like what have they done now? I need to listen to that song again. I need to like...
Nothing really gave me a full ball tickle.
It's just like, yeah, this is good.
This
like,
is all right.
This is good, the music. Like, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I do get you. It's a strange one. It's an interesting one. I like that they're doing it though. Do what you want to do. And don't
of course.
Fuck. I think that's fucking brilliant.
What do you think Alex Turner does in his day?
A lot of drugs.
Do you think?
Yeah, probably in his nights. His days are probably asleep.
Do you think?
Yeah.
See, I feel like he's now a country club boy.
I think he's probably out of his mind in a mansion like all the time.
Do you think? I don't know, I feel like he wakes up, goes to hot yoga on the beach.
I definitely can't see him doing that.
Do you not? See, I think I can now. I don't think he's very much I don't feel like there's any harshness to his life anymore.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, definitely. Man. I don't think you can be making music like that and be living out in LA and just be sitting in your garden drinking smoothies. No. There's no way. You've got to be fucking, living it up. I think you have to be, surely.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can see him doing that now. I think them times are behind him.
Maybe.
I think the drug. Maybe it's
not even like partying, just like
maybe it's mushrooms.
Yeah, like maybe more
it's like shrooms, psychedelics.
In his like mansion, not like loads of people everywhere getting bad, but just off, just doesn't really know where he is and just sort of vibing.
Yeah,
like he's not like, you don't see him out and about, dude. He doesn't get like pat doing things and like being out partying or out getting coffee. Like, he doesn't do anything. From what I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, there's probably he probably lives in a really gated community that's got like its own coffee shop and restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like him and fucking Travis Barker and all that lot just fucking knocking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it intrigues me, LA, because of all that. Just like they just all kind of live, which is weird. And I don't know why that's so weird. It just feels like they're all of like the major artists, film stars, influencers, everyone who's anyone in that sort of like celebrity realm either lives in London or LA.
Yeah.
Which is just baffles me that like, and they just live normal lives. So strange.
Well, some of them.
Yeah,
some of them definitely don't live normal lives.
Yeah, normal's I guess a bold term.
Yeah, and some of them be as far away from normal as possible. But
yeah,
no, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's good for the scene. But didn't get number one.
Not.
No.
What be it?
I think a couple of things. We only got to 3 in the end. Don't know how I found that out. Did the car get to number 1? Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah, not surprised.
Fucked him, I think.
Big fucked it.
That is unlucky.
That is unlucky.
Number 1. The car would become the 7th consecutive number 1 studio album in the UK, but I don't think it did. I think she got it.
Mad.
First album in like 7 albums not to be number 1.
Fucking hell. That'd be depressing.
Again, probably expected though.
Yeah, I'd find that quite depressing though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd find that. No, not I do find that depressing. I would. If that was my piece of work. I guess it depends how much of a shit he gave about the album. Or they gave about the album.
I think
Probably
almost
quite a
as like there's almost part of them that might even like it. Like they're going against the grain for a reason, and like it not getting number 1 is like, yeah, because the people who like get it, and people who don't, fuck them. Like a little bit. I think if they released like AM2 and then it did shit, you'd be really pissed off.
Yeah,
You'd be like, if we're gonna do that.
Well, did you hear him say that he was going to do a rock album?
That was his intention, yeah, was to basically do like AM2, and then while they were playing shows, because he said he kept playing like Arabella and stuff, and was just like fucking and Are You Mine live, and was just like, yeah, we're doing more of this, and then finished tour, got in the studio, and was like, nah, actually, I want to do this.
That's what makes me think his life is just so fucking chilled now. Like he's like, yeah, actually, I have no urge to be loud and aggressive.
Yeah, maybe.
Just kind of vibing.
Yeah.
Floating through life.
The Reytons are going to sell out Sheffield Arena. Did you see that?
No. Very cool.
Very, very fucking cool. So they've still got no label, no backing, no anything. And the whole thing is like no label, no backing, just Reytons. And they were like, yeah, we're just going to do Sheffield Arena. Like, just
hell.
They were like, we've played everywhere else. We're just going to try it. Like, we're going on sale like tomorrow. Like, just we'll see what happens. And that was like 2 weeks ago, and they tweeted like yesterday, they're at 70% of capacity already. So I don't know. I don't know what the cap will be.
Probably best part 15.
Sheffield Arena capacity
15 to 25.
13,600.
13, yeah.
Utility Arena Sheffield. So yeah, like they're at 70%. So yeah, they're already at like 10,000.
Wow.
Which is fucking
incredible.
Unbelievable. And they are like the ultimate, because I love their music. I think it's great, but it is that like, it's nice because it is nothing special, and not in a harsh way, but they're not trying to do anything ridiculous. That is like really, really high quality, catchy indie rock with a bit of attitude, like how it used to be.
Yeah.
And so the fact people are just fucking buying
Getting
into
behind
it
it
and being like, yeah, it's fucking brilliant. Let's just go to Sheffield Arena and have it off and watch them. As literally like they tweet like that, we're a local band.
Yeah.
And we could sell out Sheffield Arena.
Wow.
So that's fucking sick.
That's quality.
Yeah, it's so cool. Massive. It's same with like what Claws are doing. Like obviously it's slightly smaller scale, but playing that to Academy in Birmingham and selling like 1,500, 2,000 tickets, like that is levels that bands like that have always just been like, you can't do that. You can only sort of dream of selling that many tickets and People are just going for it. I think it's quite nice when you set a big target like that and just going for it. People just get behind it and like, fucking hell, we'll just go then. Let's just get behind it. And
I think it's brilliant. That's quality. I didn't even know they would. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, I think I follow them on my personal Instagram.
Yeah.
So it came up on there. It's like 70% sold, and I was like, oh my god. And that's like haven't announced any supports or anything. Yeah, I don't think they could get massive supports on that if they wanted to shift. Like that will sell out.
Which
is ridiculous.
That's incredible.
So many tickets in it.
There's so many tickets. Trying to just the money, the like business side of that just must be.
I don't know how much it costs.
Is there no manager? No.
It says no label, no backing, so they might have a manager. I imagine, like booking agent and like people like that.
Because that must be just an organisational nightmare.
No label, no backing, all Reytons. Yeah, so 70% arena tickets sold. We are an independent, unsigned local band from South Yorkshire. We're well on our way to completely selling out Sheffield Arena. Who'd have thought it? What response?
That's outrageous. That's so sick.
And it's not till September 2023.
Oh my! They've got
sold 70% of tickets.
Time.
Yeah, but like it will sell out before the new year.
That's incredible.
Like, I don't even know. You know, you just like, I don't even know how that's happened.
That's outrageous. How'd you get to that point?
Tickets are the standing sold out.
Good.
Tickets are start at £28.60 and go up to £36.85. And they've sold 10,000 of them.
So average out at 30 for
30
example.
quid.
So they've sold 10,000. That's 300.
So it's like 300 grand. Wow. That's fucking sick. I'm well up for that.
Fucking mental. That's huge.
Without a fucking...
No label, no backing, no nothing. Unbelievable.
And then, yeah, CD album. Sick. So sick.
Quality stuff.
And I don't really know what's happened with them because I was looking, I had like a screenshot of them. I think I was like sent, because they played Northampton earlier this year.
Roadmender this year.
So, and I was looking for my photos the other day, I can't remember why, and I had a screenshot of them and it triggered in my head because they had like 160,000 monthly listeners at the time. It would have been like February of this year. And I look now and they've got 1.1 million. I don't know, like I literally don't know what's happened. Like it's like out of nowhere.
Triggered it,
they've just, I don't know if that's just snowballed like really quickly.
I imagine there's also a lot of local outlets that have really pushed it
just
as well.
fucking
Like,
ran behind
BBC and that have started to get behind it proper as well. That's cool as fuck.
I hope so, but they are just proper local band lads doing it and doing it big time. It's the fucking dream. So cool.
I respect that. I respect that a lot. Mad. We got anything else that is on your feed?
Anything else that's been going on? Don't think so. Any new music you've been listening to?
Not really. I've been recycling through some old stuff recently.
Have you?
Yeah, I have. I went through. What was I listening to the other day? I listened to Ali Barter's album.
Okay.
The other day, that one she released in like 2018, I think. One with like "You're a Piece of Shit" on.
Yeah, that's classic.
Great album. Listened to that today. So I've been like going back through and listening to like older albums I've not listened to for a while. Just kind of sticking them on while I've been driving and stuff like that. So yeah, not really too much proper new stuff, to be honest.
It's been relatively quiet, to be fair. Like I haven't felt there's been loads and loads of stuff coming out. But...
No, not that I've been really excited for that's really come up. Venus Girls' new one's really good.
Really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
I'd listened to that a few times now. That's been stuck in my rotation a little bit. I've not really had much of I don't feel like I've had much of a chance really to sit down and properly.
Yeah, I feel like that quite a lot, to be fair.
Have a push.
Have like a big listen to stuff. I think it is that time of year where it does get quite quiet. Like
yeah.
You almost have like it's busy like January to April, and then it calms down over like festival season, and then when that's done, again. Like September, October, it's quite busy, or like start of, and then it's quiet from like now through to Christmas. It's just quiet, innit? But yeah. No, I've not been really. I've not been listening to DMA's two new songs. Yeah, literally my top two. They're fucking brilliant. That's fucking brilliant. Their new album's gonna be so good.
I might have to give that a listen.
Oh, I've been smashing. They've done like their two new singles. I've been absolutely smashing both of them. They're miles above. And then Bit the Snuts. To be fair, the new album was really fucking good. I've kind of gone back to it a little bit. I listened to it through and I was like, yeah, decent, but not as good as their first one. And then now I've been like going back to a few of the songs that are really fucking good.
Yeah.
Rolling Thunder, Latham's have a new one. Arctic Monkeys.
The Latham's bassist.
Yeah, has left.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah, Latham's bassist has left. Apparently they've been playing with only 3 of them for like quite a few months.
Oh, they.
But didn't say what happened or anything. I think again, like,
Just might be getting too much for him, I can imagine.
yeah,
maybe.
it's that strange thing, isn't it? Like they were in college, so they'd have literally been like 16 to 18 years old when they blew up. That was like 2.5 years ago. So you kind of ride the wave, and then all of a sudden you're like 19, 20, and you're a bit like, anything can happen, can't it? Like your life can just be so different, and
Anything can happen.
anything can happen. Could have been absolutely anything. It seemed like amicable, like it was like they fell out. I imagine it was just like,
oh yeah.
could literally get to the point where it's like, I've really enjoyed that. Like it's a lot of fun, but I want to go get a job.
Yeah.
Like I've kind of
done this bit
ticked
now.
my
It's
box
doing
with
it
it.
too much for me. Yeah, it could potentially be something along them lines. I think that I wouldn't be able to walk away from what the Lathams have got at the minute.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
really
well,
struggle.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I would really struggle with that. I think it'd be quite difficult to
Depends on
make
your
that
motivations,
choice.
doesn't it? Like if you've joined a band in college because you like playing the bass, but you're not like someone who's like strives to want to be like performing in front of a massive crowd. Like they're supporting Kasabian at the moment, like
My
the
God.
biggest, liveliest crowds in the UK.
Yeah,
Just might not be your bag. Like
Might
they
not
didn't.
be your
They're
shit.
not one where they've been grafting together for years.
Yeah.
Like, obviously they put the work in and that, but like it happened so quickly, so early. Like you could have been like, yeah, I'll do it for a bit, and then you're like, oh, you've got to tour the UK, and you're like, okay, you got to tour America now. And you're releasing your debut album. You've got to tour that. You've got to do this, and then after a couple of years, you're like, oh, sorry, God, I never actually kind of agreed to this.
Yeah,
and
I didn't
we're
want to do
2 years in now, and I'm a bit like, I'm kind of like done a little bit. I don't know. Could have been fucking anything.
Could have been anything, man. Could have been
Interesting.
anything.
At least it's not disrespectful, but at least it's the best.
This
way.
is absolutely.
It's like they're a bit like an Oasis style. Like Alex, obviously lead singer, and seems to write all the songs, and Scott Ladd, the guitarist, is the best guitarist I've ever seen live, but like a long way. And I think they're like, as long as them two keep going, that band will keep going.
Yeah.
Like, they can probably have bassists and drummers that come in and out, but
It'd be quite interesting to see what they do next. I know there's a bit of a 3-piece, and they're just going to continue as a 3-piece.
yeah, I don't know if they've just got like a tour bassist, I imagine. Live.
Yeah, well, they said they're going to keep playing as a 3-piece.
No, really.
So it'll be interesting to see whether they do take a tour basis.
Because they must do, because quite a lot of their songs are quite bass heavy.
Yeah, whether Alex takes the guitar and the guitarist takes the bass, or Alex takes the bass and...
He already plays guitar.
Yes, they might have just lost the rhythm.
Might have lost the rhythm,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Which would be interesting to see what
Yeah.
what the outfit looks like. It's cool as fuck, though.
Yeah, interesting. They've announced their second album.
Cool.
Comes out in March, I think.
Cool.
Which would be really sick. Be interesting to see what they can do with that, like to build upon what they've already got. But a release single from it, it's fucking good, so they'll keep going, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Onwards and upwards for them.
So yeah, plenty kicking on, mate. But yeah, an interesting time for the scene. Little bit of
Interesting
drama.
time for the
I'm
scene.
glad that we got to kind of put our 2 cents in and get it out. And
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is. I think it's important to...
but
Not important that we have a...
it's not very relevant. But
Yeah,
I
but
like
I
it.
quite like having a chat about it. I quite like talking about it.
We can talk about it anyway. Might as well record it and
Yeah.
get it out there.
Might
But no,
as well.
I think peace and love, baby. Let's all support each other. That's what we're here for. So,
Have you got anyone you want to shout out today?
music wise,
No.
I thought we already did that.
Did we?
Yeah. Said, have we got anyone you've been listening to at the moment?
Oh, we did.
But we can. I'll think of someone else. The Hara new one is actually really good.
Is it?
Yeah, really decent. Listened to that the other day. I need to listen to it properly, but really good. What else been listening to? Lottery Winner's new one was decent. Listen to anyone we've interviewed now.
Yeah.
So fuck everyone else. Somebody's Child released a new one that's really good as well.
One's good. I've not
Yeah.
listened to it at all.
Really decent. Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes and Jamie T did like a collaboration song called The Drugs, and that's really decent.
That's really
That's worth listening to. Yeah, that kind of like complement each other quite well actually. That's a
I
good
can
track.
imagine.
But yeah, that's a few for you.
Well, there you go. Well,
Okay.
No.
The biggest botch episode you'll ever see. I love it.
God.
One of the best ones.
Jesus.
But, can we leave another Easter egg for people who got this far? Because I genuinely think we need to start keeping a note of those people and sending them like
Yeah.
money
Well, I think I'm gonna start closing all episodes with like a send us a screenshot of something.
of something.
So this week, send us.
No, tag us in your story. It's better.
Tag us in your story. Either send us it in DMs so we know personally that you've got this far through the episode, or tag us in your story and then we'll also know the same thing. Your favourite piece of content from us. What's been your favourite piece of content that we've put out over the last like 2-3 years of doing this? What's been the best bit? Your best bit?
Yeah, nice.
I think that's a good one. Right. Well, thank you very much for listening, team.
It's all right, mate.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Let us know what you think. Oh, no, actually, let us know what you think about the Skinner brothers.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think about that whole situation.
Let us know. Message us about it and give us your thoughts. And I'll also do it as the poll on this episode. So if you're on Spotify, just scroll down a little bit. There'll be a poll that you can give your opinion on there as well if you want to be a bit more anonymous. But I'd be interested to see what the... Yeah, but it is if I don't tell anyone who it was. Would be a bit more discreet.
okay.
It is that the polls are anonymous. You can't see who's put what. The questions aren't, but the polls are anonymous.
Oh, the polls.
Yeah, they are anonymous. I can't see who put what.
The questions you can.
Questions you can.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
questions you can.
thinking.
So no, the polls are anonymous. So if you want to stay anonymous, then there's a little poll for you.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Make sure you like and subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review, leave a rating, and we'll see you on the other side. Peace.